Deciding whether conflict and war is okay is one of the hardest things we can possibly do. There are just so many factors which go into it that it's really hard to draw a conclusion for ourselves. The way that is generally approached to find out the ethicality and morality of war is dependent on which ethical viewpoint you find yourself standing with. There are three main standpoints which you can take: teleological, deontological, and virtue ethics. The first one, teleological, is an ends justify the means approach to ethics. Generally, this viewpoint would be more in favor of being able to label conflict as morally okay. The reason for this is because in armed conflict, the killing that occurs is for the greater good, i.e. stopping the bad guy, so long as the killing is being committed by the good guys. And thus, it will be more accepted by this group. This is personally the group that I find myself with. Deontological ethics is based in the adherence to rules, i.e. if something is against the rules, it would be morally wrong to do so. This can be seen as a mixed bag depending on how you look at it. It really comes down to the person's own beliefs in what they can be classified as murder, as some may see the deaths in conflict to be murder and others may not. It's very challenging to try and narrow down this group for this reason. The final group is virtue ethics. Again, a mixed bag, but probably more in favor of war not being okay. These people believe in taking action that only helps develop good character traits in their fellow humans. Now, you might come across someone who falls under this group who might feel that experiencing war and experiencing military life grows good character, it gives them respect and a higher respect for the lives of their fellow humans and gives them good skills that they can use down their lines. But generally, you're going to come across the people who disagree with this, bringing up the points that the damage that war causes to individual humans. To help better illustrate this, I'm going to propose two scenarios. Scenario 1. Two opposing soldiers face each other on the battlefield. They fight, and eventually one sustains a final injury. The soldier who is killed left behind two young children, a wife, parents, siblings, and a whole future. He died in a war where his government was looking to take another country's land and other people's homes. Was the action of the surviving soldier ethical? If looked at by a teleological viewpoint, the answer would be, most likely, yes. This would be primarily because the soldier who was killed was doing something that would generally be considered wrong. He was trying to take someone else's land, trying to take someone else's home. Therefore, the surviving soldier was simply defending his rights, his property, his family, and so on and so forth. Deontological view would be yes, but more of a mixed bag, I'd say. And virtue ethics, most likely no. This is because, obviously, as stated before, virtue ethics generally win in favor for war, as due to the killing and such, as shown here. And deontological, depends again how your view is on the whole aspect of killing and conflict, whether it's murder or not. Now, scenario 2. Two opposing soldiers face each other on the battlefield. They fight, and eventually one sustains a fatal injury. The soldier who was killed left behind two young children, a wife, parents, and siblings, and a whole future. He died in a war where he was defending his home and family from a foreign invader, who came in unprovoked. Was the actions of the first soldier ethical? Teleological would label this as no, simply because, again, ends justify the means. The end result of this would be the soldier who survived taking the land, taking the home, and taking the rights from the soldier who died. And that is not okay. That is not a justifiable end. So therefore, they would be labeled as deontological. Again, a mix. It would be very hard to pinpoint these ones as well, because, again, murder, is it in conflict or not? And that's the really hard part of pinning them down. Generally, though, as humans, we generally see invading action unprovoked as being wrong. The final one, virtue, probably not again. As stated before, they're morally okay with people doing things that promote good habits, but invading another person's country, killing their people, and taking their homes isn't inspiring good habits anymore. Personally, I feel that conflict is ethically and morally okay. The soldiers aren't doing what they do to get some sick joy of killing people. They're there to do their job. They're there to protect their freedoms, their country's interests, their people. That's all it is. I hope this helps you draw your own conclusions onto whether or not war and conflict in its whole is morally or ethically okay. Thanks for watching.